We have two requests here. One's for liability, 34,003, and one's insurance, 34,000. I'll go through these. As I mentioned before, we have no place to transfer money in to pay for any of this. Part of this reason, some of this information, some of this money is due to our insurance premium. We renewed it in the middle of the year, so we could not project that into the budget for this year. The good news on that is we have moved that due date towards the end of the year, so next year we'll have that hard number for you for budget time. And some of that is from this. I'll talk about the liability line first, 34,003. We have some attorney bills in, and we do not have enough money in the line item to pay for it. The solar farm attorney, we have a bill from them for 41,000, and we've only got 26,000 in the line item. We also have 2 accidents that we've got to pay for some damages on that. That's in the liability line item. We're anticipating, they're not settled yet, but we're anticipating they'll be in the $30,000 or $40,000 range. So the bills that we have in hand are just over $83,000, or anticipate with the accident. And we only have 26,000 left in that line item. So we're also anticipating for the rest of the year, well, if you approve the 56, we need $56,683 to be exact. But then we'll be back to zero balance for the rest of the year. We know we have 2 other cases coming up that we were notified of in the last week or 2 that will have attorney fees on those. Both of those will not be minor, they'll be major. So we round that out to 100,000 for the rest of the year. Okay. That's the money difference. But right now, we've got to have the 56,683 to pay bills that we have in hand. And we could get another attorney bills tomorrow. Right. You know, we get them, we don't know when we're getting all of them. So that's why we're asking for that line item. The insurance line item, the $25,000, we owe on the premium that I spoke of in the beginning. Right now we have $1,000 left in that line item. So we're asking 25 to pay that premium. I will add that I'll be back next month for some more. We'll owe the cyber insurance in November. That will come due, and obviously we don't have any money left in that line item for that. Anticipate that to be another $15,000 to $25,000 that we'll need for that. We're also going to have workman's comp come due in November. So in October, I'll come back to you, just giving you a heads up. We're going to need additional funds for that, probably around $70,000, $73,000 to pay workman's comp.
Mr. Eric, where do you start out this year's budget with those line items? Do you remember that offhand?
Which one you like?
Just the insurance and liability. I'm just kind of wondering, did we shorten that? I mean, a little bit.
No, the insurance liability wasn't shortened this year. You didn't take any away from us. We renegotiated our contract in the middle of the year, and it increased. It increased starting May 1st.
Was there a reason for that? Just inflation, or?
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons for insurance right now.
Well, I understand.
Our current carrier would not give us a price. We went out on the market. It's very difficult with insurance companies and government right now. You know, our jail's not in the best of shape. We all know that. That's causing us some problems. The new jail will fix a lot of the problems we've got, not all of them. Insurance is expensive. This one, we just broke a mirror on a Sierra. It's 2 years old, $2,200 for the mirror.
So we got to pay our code deductible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to pay that. It's $2,000 for a mirror. It's, you know, it's one of those heated ones. It has an indicator that a car's passing you. It's got all this other fancy stuff, plus inflation.
Tom, I'm sorry. I'm being distracted by a lot of chatter in the audience. Please do not be a distraction. Thank you. Go ahead.
But to answer your question, you did not cut those line items. It's just
Excuse me, ma'am.
Are you saying
Ma'am, you're done. You're done. Do not speak anymore. Do not be a distraction to our meeting. If you speak again, you will be asked to leave. Go ahead, Tom.
I was just asking for, I didn't know if
Yeah, it's
we
just-
made you short from last.
No,
or
no.
it was a little more, but you negotiated another, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Are there any other questions for Tom before we go to the public comment?
I had a question, and this isn't in the numbers today, but it was the cyber insurance. Is that not something that we foresaw, or I guess I don't know where that comes out of or what that is?
That's part of the liability insurance company, and that bill will be due in November. So I'll have the price for that.
So that's part of the
Next
new
month.
negotiations with you?
Yes, it's included in that, yes.
Councilman Vaughn asked about those three funds. The adopted budget for '24 for insurance was $600,000, attorney fees and bonds, $143,000, workman's comp, $432,000, and liability insurance retainage, $160,000. And then we had $125,000 for settlements.
So
The only one that was cut was the attorney fees.
Yeah.
A lot of that is, those were estimates last, I mean, that's all.
but the liability, we started 100.
Yeah, that was all based off of what the policy was, and then the insurance carrier at the time.
Because we renegotiated.
They would not renew at that rate, and so then that caused an increase in making sure the county was covered with insurance. So, but one thing that they did put some thought into is, like Tom said, they changed the date so that now they're able to give us the price for the following year at budget time, so we can more accurately budget for that. Okay, well, this is a general fund new money request, so again, the same public comment process. State your name, where you're from, and 3 minutes, please.
Katherine Callahan. I'm a little confused. Maybe you can help me understand this. You guys just transferred money for the commissioners out of an insurance line. And that was their third request out of that line. And now they're here today asking you for all kinds of money and all these different line items. So I'm very confused. After listening to the statements of Mr. Eckert, kind of sounds like they spent money before it was appropriated. Kind of illegal. Sounds like you're going to need even more attorneys, because as you give special privileges to people and they don't have to pay their fines, maybe some other community member will find that this is kind of not okay, that you're picking and choosing, and so you get sued again. At what point are the commissioners held accountable to pay their own dumbness? I don't know, whatever word you want to call it, because this is just absolutely ridiculous that we are, how much money total tonight has he asked for? And he's saying, I'm going to come back, and I'm going to ask you for even more. But yet, we're not going to collect fines. We're not going to make sure that department heads are doing their jobs. I mean, this is absolutely out of control spending. And to me, it sounds like this is the most expensive commissioner's office yet to date.
Is there anybody else that wants to speak to this issue? If not, we have Tom, would you like to respond or make any
I'll
statement?
just make one comment that none of these lawsuits, none of this stuff, the commissioners have never been sued. We cover in the commissioner's budget, we cover all departments.
Right,
And like the solar farm, that's the planning
right.
for their attorney. We cover all of those costs. So these costs are countywide. They're not just our department.
Right.
But you do get tort claim. I mean, that's a regular process every year we get to this.
Yes.
We
Yeah,
all get tort
and that's what
claims.
he's explaining. If another department gets sued, the commissioners are the ones that have to
We're the
pay
ones
that.
responsible
Right.
to pay for it
Right.
and respond to it. Yep.
I mean, it's
Okay.
common government.
All right, is there any, no, ma'am, go sit down, go sit down. No,
I'm allowed to respond.
no, ma'am, you need to leave. Please leave, please leave. Yeah, we'll have an officer escort you out. Excuse me, ma'am, have a seat.
If other departments.
Have a seat. Have a seat, or you can leave as
So
well.
how is that fair that you're not listening to people?
Mrs.
about-
Callahan, have a seat now, or you can join them and
I just
leave.
want to make sure you made your point, that the people aren't allowed to speak
They sure are.
on new money.
We allow appropriate comments.
I think mine was.
Ma'am.
You know what I had to say.
You can go ahead and leave as well. You have, you're out of order. Could I have somebody from the Sheriff's Department help Ms. Callahan out as well?
Calm down, she'll leave. You are outrageous. You guys are outrageous. Absolutely outrageous and wasteful.
We'll continue the meeting, Sheriff, after one of your deputies can help Mrs. Callahan exit the chambers.
So what's you passed the resolution, you got resolutions in the door.
Yes, but she was not recognized to speak. She was creating a distraction to the meeting. She was speaking out of turn. Excuse me. We don't need to make this any more than what it is.
Leave that to the ordinance, the resolution that passes for the type of team to say that she has.
Sheriff, under the new state, and I don't know if you read this, Ted, under the new state statute, the state legislators passed, it brings it back, I don't know if Councilman Gale, you read it, it brings it back to the county where we vote on the resolution, and then that is enforced by the county. State legislature passed that just last year, so it's going well.
Ted, go ahead. Right. Right. Excuse me, please be quiet. You're interrupting the meeting now as well. Yeah, I mean, the council has the ability to see that their meetings are conducted in an orderly manner. Public is allowed to be here and play their part, but they're not allowed to disrupt or steer the meeting.
She has to be ejected the other way.
Yeah. So why should she be treated any
No, I'm just looking at the state statute. What's like he says, the trespass at this point?
Whatever the council comes back to, we pass, and which is that resolution, Councilman Gale.
Right.
That's what you gotta follow, what's the state statute.
I think that's not your jurisdiction. We just say rejected. That's what it is.
Yeah.
She just says rejected. What happens after that is.
Right.
I think you give a warning and then.
She's out.
Yeah, a warning was given. She continued to disrupt the meeting, so she needs to be removed from the meeting.
Not that person over there.
Well, that's less that
There's no
Mhm.
charge.
there's no penalty to it, just an ejection.
Okay, thank you. Is this the wrong person?
Is your comment about the new money request?
It is.
Once this is finished, then we'll have you begin. Okay, please state your name, and we'll give you 3 minutes.
Lorraine White, the Commissioner's Administrative Assistant said that the commissioners have never been sued, I think. I have a lawsuit against the commissioners right now.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion amongst the council?
Yeah, I just have a question. Mr. Eckert, when you renegotiated that, is that going to be, you're negotiating the multi-year, so is this gonna be for your fiscal year 25, or is it gonna be remainder of 24 into 25, or how's
Yes,
that?
it's going to be in the 25.
So it's starting now, that
Yeah.
negotiation,
Started in May.
it started in May?
Yeah, that's why this wasn't in your budget.
Right. So the budget numbers that they have requested for 25 reflect this.
That's exactly right.
Okay, is there any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, that passes. Finally, new money request, we have the Public Defender's Office. Thank you for your patience.